of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Holy Apostle Dean Saline. My co-host will be here shortly. We just have a conversation. We want to invite y'all into our house, our home, part of our community, as I have believers. With that being said, we're going to get into a conversation that touches, who may not be realized, that it touches every aspect of your life. The state that's going on in the world today, the claims the Lord Most High is making, and it's coming down to destroy this world. At the same time, those are the demon beasts and the devils who are fighting against the Lord Most High in the spirit realm, but it's manifest on the physical planet, our world, every day, from war to genocide to the signs of weather being patterns being taken on. So people, you need to sit back and really get into this particular program, because this is dealing with something that you may want to hear, you may not have heard in your particular places of worship, but at the end of this program, maybe the Lord had been enlightening you to something again and said, Lord, Holy Apostle, think about what you said earlier today about the signs of the Lord is manifesting, and that the war, spiritual warfare between the Lord Most High and the doers of evil devils. It's a real thing that is manifest on many planes of existence that people don't really are aware of. So if you can maybe go into a deeper perspective of that.
Well, the thing about it is that the people has taken the people who was hidden in power, they've taken what's real and made it seem unreal.
Yes.
And what's most important to seem unimportant, and what's less important to seem most important.
Okay.
For the common folk, And of course, everybody generally knows about education.
Right.
You hear certain civil rights leaders talk about education, and we need to be educated. And then the thing about, living in equality and hand in hand, and being, accepted by the other, races of people, like Caucasians, of course, accepting, the African Americans and what have you. That whole Martin Luther King thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And this morning, I got up, I woke up, and I had been doing some contemplating, speaking with my Lord, and it caused me to turn on the television to channel 2, major station, early this afternoon. And first thing hit me was they had CC Winans and a production that had taken place some years ago with a group of singers, mostly African Americans.
Okay.
They had one Caucasian woman up there in that particular group, and it just like the Lord said, look at him. The devil, the jinn, the people in power that's hidden, that serves the devil's cause. Have the people singing, dancing, clapping, happy, just like in the days of slavery.
Yeah.
Song and dance brings a certain type of joy, and it lets you burn off a certain type of energy.
Okay.
It's just like sports, Right. You run around, you burn off a certain type of energy. If you got energy from frustration, you can burn it off. Right. You got energy from anxiety, you could burn it off.
Okay.
If you got energy from hatred, you could burn it off. Okay. Whatever kind of energy you got going on, you can actually burn it off through a physical activity.
Right.
And so, they know that the African slaves used to dance and sing,
right.
While they worked out in the fields to keep a rhythm.
Right.
And that takes your mind partially away from what's really going on with you, so that you can get involved in sort of a meditative,
Right.
work, regardless of how hard that work is.
Okay.
And that's where they're guiding a large segment of our people towards singing and dancing and getting away from the real thought about what's going on. Now we got Black History Month coming up in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Right? and they've started somewhat like 10 days from now, 11 days, and they've started with the Black History thing from since Martin Luther King's birthday. They got all this stuff going on. It's really a shame that our leaders have again sold out.
Right.
They've sold out
Yes.
to the enemies, and you cannot get away from the fact of the matter that the people that's in the powers that be and the Caucasians, they could look at it themselves because these same people are their enemies too.
Yeah.
They're not just African American enemies. They're the enemies of all mankind.
Yeah.
You understand? They want to have the power of the Lord to rule. And now they're stretching out to rule the whole world.
Yes.
They want to police. When A.H.A.D said this to us back in '95 or even earlier, where I had made a public statement about they want to be police of the world.
Right.
And they're moving further and further into that particular operation of policing the whole world. Now, why is it that our people can't see that, this thing is real, like the devil is real and the Lord is real, Lord Most High is real, and that there's a war, a diabolical war, a holy war going on. It's diabolical from the side of the devil and holy from the side of the Lord. But everybody want to say that they are in the holy war, the avengers of the power that be.
Right.
And the devil got his servants on both sides of the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean.
Right.
And the Lord, there's only few in the whole world that stands in the path of the true Lord Most High. Right. Only few. Most of the people in the world have gone astray. Most of the people have fallen for it. Why is it getting more difficult for our people to see that they're losing this thing and that they've truly lost and they're set up for destruction? One of the signs of that being set up for destruction is that for the first time in the history of the United States of America, the Lord Most High have put his vengeance in nature on a very large amount of African American people in Louisiana.
Yes, it did.
You can listen to them scientists and you can listen to the educators talking about that's nature. No, that's not just nature. The Lord is nature. Nature submits to the Lord.
Yes.
You see? Now, why it's so hard for them to see it? Because the devil has opened the gates of seduction.
Right.
It's easy for them to put black folks in management positions of sport and play.
Right.
It's easy for them to give them power on television, but power with a leash.
Right.
That if they don't stand forth for the devil, no matter how sugar-coated it is, they'll jerk that leash back.
Right.
See, in this country, the land of the free, they understand, and they are fearful. They're more fearful of men and the devil than they are the Lord Most High. Those people in power who stand up on these television shows and report what they're going to report.
Right.
Because they know that they will lose what the devil has given them. And not only lose what the devil has given them, but they will be thrown down into a penalty, so to speak, that will be laid on them by the jinn.
Right.
You understand?
Yes,
now, some years ago, 7, 8 years ago, when we sent out all letters to people, we sent some to Gil Noble, Tony Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And I mention those two because those two supposedly were heavy with standing up for the black cause and for the right cause. Tony Brown, he didn't care if it was black, white, brown. He stood up for the right cause, and he used to say some very, very heavy things.
Right.
Gil Noble, they always, like it is, talking about the black people. Now, we made sure facts, regular mail, and what have that, they get these letters. And with me trying to hold court with them.
Right.
Right? Tony Brown, we sent the fax and the email and carried it and put it in his office.
Right.
And they shut him down 2 weeks later for a whole year. And when he came back that next year, that following year, he had a minister, a priest that had a collar on back with black priest. And the man was saying what I was saying in the letter.
Right.
So I understood that the gin shut Tony Brown down because Tony Brown had more heart than Gil Noble.
Right.
And the rest of these people that we had sent this mail to, this correspondence to. Now, he would have more than likely let me address the situation.
Right.
You understand? And because Tony Brown was so statistically correct in all the things that he spoke of, they was already afraid of him. It was like a Martin Luther King, Elijah Muhammad did.
Right.
Once Martin Luther King decided that he was going to get with Elijah Muhammad, they assassinated him. The jail assassinated him so that the two people from the north and the south of the African Americans could not get together. Many people, the civil rights leaders that or activists that were with him knew what was going on, as well as his family knew. You understand about these meetings, and I believe this actor he just passed away. Him and his wife always acted together. A.H.A.D. Davis spoke on it on television. On the show, but he would not come straight out and say what I would say.
Well, yes.
You understand that Martin was tired of getting his behind whipped. He was tired of the dogs biting his people and the firemen shooting the water on him and the police brutality and getting beat with the blackjacks and locked up and trampled. He was tired of that. So he was looking for a new way. So they gave they took that speech that he gave, which he never intended to be the most major speech he made. He took that and made that major, and then they killed him so he could not go further with what he was about to do.
Right.
Now he's cut off. He already got his wife. You can't expect his wife to be like a Harriet Tubman. But she was all right, but she was afraid, of course, and she would never stand up and tell it. I'm disappointed. It would have been nice, even on her deathbed, if she had said, my husband was going to the Muslims because he thought that they had another point of view that may have been right.
Right.
To stand up for their rights and not get beat down or sit to get beat down, because that's what Martin did. Elijah stood up. Martin sat down.
Right.
They talk about a march. He was surrendering, submitting. Yeah, we know we can't beat this devil. You understand? So in his recourse, it was okay. We gonna march. You understand? My Lord have me sitting here conveying this information. It's my duty to convey the information. And what we convey on this program is not even a hair's width of the information that the Lord has given me for the world. But our people is so caught up into the game that the devil is playing to take them down that they're not interested in coming to support me to get this message. And the proof is in the 10 years or 8, 9 years we was out on Lyons Avenue offering free programs, being humble, sitting back, asking the people to come, and they refused. And then the Muslims got out and made it their religion to actually go against us, to work against us, directly against us, to tell people don't go to them people online, that them people ain't right. Those Muslims, African American Muslims, are completely, most of them are completely taken up with the worship of the Aryan Arabs.
Definitely.
And following their false religion of Hadithism that they broke off from the true religion of Islam that Muhammad brought. And what you see of Islam today is nothing like what Muhammad brought. The philosophy is not what Muhammad brought. The people are so caught up the things that the talismans, the good luck charms, and the look of the Muslims, and when you come to common sense, when you come to clear wisdom, they don't want clear wisdom. They don't want clear the actuality of what's going on. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about how can we veil, how how can we go to Mecca, which is the least of the five pillars of Islam? You know what I'm saying? And then other things, and this thing of prayer, even prayer. They want to perform prayer. They want to be seen performing prayer, and you have brothers who play that game where Allah said, protect your prayers. Your prayers should be sacred. Protect them. So they more interested in those prayers being shown. You understand? And we in the society of the devil, and it makes them feel so good to be able to make the call, that land call out loud, and then let people see them as a spectacle. Right. You understand? But what about the true prayer? Right. What about the true inner prayer? The sacred prayer? What about the true Islam? You understand? That has no semblance of what they're doing. Because if you think Muhammad was just involved with his dress wear, and not involved with clothing his heart and his mind with righteousness, then you far off the mark. The same thing as it is with Jesus, and I shouldn't say Jesus, because Jesus did not create or produce Christianity. That's right. You understand? But Jesus and John and Moses and what Allah gave them. Yes. It wasn't about what Christianity is falling into. It's not about materialism and what have you. The materialism that the Lord gives us really is for our security. Right. Our house is to protect us. Right. But the house has become the thing of glamour to give us status. When it's really a hub for our protection. Right. And that's what the Lord wants us to understand, what's right and what's best, and not that facade that the devil put out there on us to make us look away from the Lord and look to the world, so that they could conquer man and for the cause of only seeing man go to hell. Right. Now, the Lord, you addressed a whole bunch of issues in the statement that you made. And I thank the Lord for, because part of this, what the Lord's giving you, is this message of looking into the very thing that the devil been dangling before you, like the carrot with the horseman carries, the carrot before the horse's face. Now, our people, by and large, all the time, are those people that are taken by the shiny trinkets. Yes. The shiny things. Yes. I laughed at that Puffy came through his years, bad boy with the shiny suit. But in the shiny suit, they blinded you from the truth of things. Right. Our people still in an ugly state. We're still the lowest bottom of the pole in every range from economic to financial to material success. But our people, we're happy just to have the crumbs. You always talk about not having the crumbs on the table. Why not get the crumbs when you have your own table? One of the things that Elijah brought was that. And why get the crumbs you can make your own table? And own the business day, but our people, there you go. And they fighting you with the message the Lord gives you to help liberate them. Liberation is the thing that everybody's fighting to stay in slavery with. Yeah. They're fighting to be. I know what you're saying, but I'm a slave. I want to be in this. I want to be set in this. But if it's not better for your betterment, but to your cause, you're taking you down to your detriment, then what difference do it make of how you've been raised up in society? Right. Because when you pass on this life, what people are not realizing that the Lord is sending you here as a sign of His saving grace, is that once you die in this world, you're going to stand before the Lord of the throne. You're going to be alive. And in that, did my message not come to you, like the Lord said in the Quran? Did it not come to you? Did not give His message to you? My message to you? And you are those that turned away, thinking that you would turn into the better of the things of this world again. Jesus said it best. What shall it profit a man if you gain the whole world but then lose his soul connection? They even say soul, but it's connected, the soul connected to the Lord. To the Lord. Right. You'll lose that. Narrow is the way, but broad is the gate to destruction. Right. And the Lord now, the Lord's giving the devil that time period to make the broad, the way wide now. It's raising our people up so-called in the ranks of society. And I know our people here say that, but the truth got to be told again. We're being raised up in status, but you said not being owners of anything, but managers, directors, but still you don't own the company. They got the leash on you. And if you go to speak out against, jerk that leash. Come back, who you talking to? And our people are the first to fight this message.
all the time. You say it all the time, but they are the first to go against that. Whether it be the African American Muslims who you speak against the truth, you speak for the truth of A.H.A.D, and they say you talking against our masters. They hear the message you saying one time.
Right.
Whether it be the Christians again. We talking about the Christ, which is the Lord Most High, the purifier, the crusher. You say you talking about Jesus. He ain't coming back. No. The Lord said one like Jesus, but the Christ is here again.
Right.
Now, how many people hear that message?
Right.
And the same thing to those Jews
Right.
who say you follow the way of Moses.
Right.
The Lord said the Northern Jerusalem, the new old city of peace is being destroyed. Now you see a bunch of the new Jews in this new city now. And our people again sitting around with the yarmulkes on and walking around our city buying up property.
They want to say I'm silly for saying that Nostradamus was talking about Newark being the new city because he's seen it. Allah gave him the vision to see the renaissance of Newark being done.
That's right.
And it said that when the towers, go down, talking about the city of commerce go down, the smoke would come up and out towards the new city. And they try to say he was talking about New York. How it's gonna come out and towards something that's already in. You understand? And the thing about it is that, like our people just want to lay down. But look, they take me as a joke. The Muslims say, the brothers walk past and say, oh, that's the furthest thing from the truth. They are not learned, they are not wise, they have no spirituality, have nothing but them little short high water pants they wear, and this silliness that they put on themselves that, they're trying to imitate the look like what they think Muhammad looked like, but the Jews, they running over here and they taking this city like crazy.
That's right.
Because they're not taking it for a joke. They are practical. And what I'm saying is that the Lord Most High give us practical information, practical awareness, practical knowledge, practical things to do, practical ways to be. And our people want to go for the facade, for the fantasy, and that's what I'm talking about. I call them to facts. Right, actual facts. You can't see the Lord.
That's right.
You understand? But the Lord always sends its messenger.
Right.
The Lord manifests to his messenger, make itself known so his messenger will know. And then the strength of the messenger, it gives the messenger a guardian angel, an archangel that strengthens him. You understand? That be with him and speak with him and move with him and do certain things outside of him that the messenger itself is not capable of doing. But working along with the messenger, so the messenger and this archangel is as one, working together, being together. And then the furthest support is that Allah itself intertwined with the messenger and the archangel. That's where the Lamb of Allah come in at. That's what makes the Lamb, and it's not just the L-A-M-B, but it's the L-A-A-M.
Man, right.
Huh? You're all knowing.
That's right.
All wise, all hearing, all seeing, all being. Lord. That's within. You understand? And our people don't want to deal with the practicality. They want to deal with the fantasy while the Jews is dealing with practicality, but they've gone so far to the left that they don't want nobody else to have anything. That curse on them is ages of time. And then, you can't break your nature. Like I said in another show, an alligator, you can't change the alligator. The nature of an alligator, I don't care how much you try. And our people trying to hug up with alligators, man. Instead of them, it's like Elijah called for a separate land, a separate state.
Right.
People laughed at him. They've gotten to believe so much so that they need the white man, the Caucasian, to survive. They believe they need him. And is it right that they've taken our people's ability to farm away, to hunt away? They did this purposely. They've taken our people's ability to farm, to hunt, to build, and to educate. They've done the most major things against our people as an act of war against a nation of people to bring the nation of people down. They've done this purposely, and they're continually doing it, and they're controlling what's being done out here. And then they give us the Oprah Winfrey talk shows, the Bill Cosby comedy shows, the Eddie Murphys, and all that. Give us all that foolishness where we can go and help them bring our people down. And then they said, well, television is about the entertainment of the people. Yeah, it's about entertainment of the people, but entertaining for what? For who? Entertaining for the devil so that the devil can take you down. It's not just entertainment, it's an act of war against a nation of people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get programs that would express these types of things, or programs that would express practical education and what have you, they put them on off channels.
Yeah.
And our people, before we couldn't even afford cable and what have you, you understand? So we only had from 2 to 11 or whatever they would give us, and they have all the junk stuff on it. And then you had other people watching the higher channels getting more educational stuff. They know exactly what time to put certain programs on.
That's true.
And what time to keep them away from the people. And what channels, what stations. They got everything. Everything is moderated. Everything is put in the order that they want it, so that it can be used as a tool. One thing about this gender society and the gender world, anything that the Lord gives them, if it gives them a secret, open up a secret of nature to them, they find a way to use it as a weapon against man. And when the Lord said the enemies of man, and people like Elijah had come to say that the devil is the white man, he's the enemy of man.
Right.
The enemy of man is man himself.
That's right.
Not just the devil, because the devil is in every man. But the devil that's within and the devil that's without is the enemy of man, but those who join the devil is as well the enemy of man.
That's so true. So true. A.H.A.D said that in this time in Revelations, for example, when it mentioned about the war between A.H.A.D and his angels and the devil and his dupes.
Yes.
Many people have put that away to relegate it to that's only fantasy.
Oh yeah,
because they can't. A.H.A.D blessed to have you come now and be a sign of the book being open, the break of the seals, and said that these are the times that we're living in now. There's not a far off time that people want to put revelations in. This is the present time. If the Lord wasn't real, you would not be here in this present time, giving this Lord's present message.
Right.
It's not a past message.
Right. But you got millions. Right. You got hold your thought.
Okay, because
you got a million. You got multitudes of the devil's servants that's coming straight out at me. Well, they coming indirectly at me because they can't touch me so far as the law has put it so thus far, but they come out indirectly to do battle against me. And Allah said they will do battle against me in the city. It's written that in the book of Revelation, and the Malachi speak about those things. They'll do battle against me here. You understand? Okay. But it's the Muslims who serve the devil who coming out straight at me. My very presence proved that they are liars.
Yes.
About Muhammad being the final prophet of Allah.
That's right.
And Allah said all they want to do, all they saying so much so is, Lord, shut up. Shut up, Lord. By saying there's nobody else to come. In other words, don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to your Lord. No more. Muhammad was enough.